before we go any further, I want you guys to do me a big favor. I need to re-record the clips from the movie Bad Faith that I mentioned to you that talks about the nationalism and things because the volume came out too low. So turn this up just for a second. I'm going to show you a brief clip. Turn the video up and then make sure to turn it back down so I'm not blaring in your ear. But I want you to watch this clip really quick and then we're going to talk.
Now, they're hunting Christians in many parts of the world, and we're not doing that in the States yet.
It's real and it is horrific. And yes, we know other faith groups are also being persecuted, but Christians have a giant X on their back.
The notions that evangelicals or the religious right is aggrieved in this country is, on the face of it, I think is preposterous. I think a case can be made that these people, in fact, are the aggressors. They're the ones who are trying to impose their values, their religious convictions on the remainder of society.
They're actually demanding a license to discriminate against those of whom they disapprove, and they're asking for an ability to override the law when it conflicts with their religious beliefs. For some Americans, that's a cause for alarm, and for others, it's the answer to their prayers.
This movement has been about scaring white Christian people into believing that there is an enemy out there that's going to obliterate you.
And the subject at hand is that you hear so many of these evangelicals talking about doomsday for the Christian faith, that the big bad wolf is out to get the Christian faith. You hear that a whole lot from them talking, that you hear so many from prominent figures, as you saw there in the clip. You hear it from the local ones that's on the YouTube levels and regular church people that are out here. They're coming to get us. They're coming to get us. We're facing so much persecution and things like that. And I say, you know what? Give me a break, because it's a disgrace to sit up there and try to compare the persecution of the church in the United States to how it's going on in parts of the world when there is no freedom of religion and freedom of speech and all of that. And these people, this is what they do, this evangelical movement that is perverted, that what they're doing is trying to play like there's a big bad wolf and out to get the Christian faith. So they want to have everybody scared, try to scare them so that way they can take their perverted agenda and then force it onto those within the world and everybody else, regardless if you're a Christian or not. That's what they want to do. And to set up, you always hear this persecution stuff. Oh, these YouTubers, a lot of these self-appointed pastors and teachers and all of that, they have a certain mindset that they all are in a similar accord. And you tell me, when have you seen within the media? Now, I mean, let me finish my thought. When have you seen in the media anywhere that Christians are being dragged out of a church somewhere and handcuffed and beaten and thrown into some prison and out there in them harsh prisons like they have in Russia and North Korea, and you never hear from them again? Have you seen any beheadings? Have you seen people coming into villages and coming into a Bible study and that's eradicating everybody within the Bible study because of their Christian faith? Now, we had some Christians that died at the hands of you remember that? The shooter that came in and pretended like he was wanted to be part of and was racially motivated and everything else. That's a different type of deal there. But when you don't see this widespread so-called persecution that is happening like they claim, they just want to scare you. Just like they continue to always try to scare you that this is happening, all of this different, they're talking about, a terrorist attack is getting ready to happen. Some people and all of that. And so there's no evidence of a terrorist attack about to happen. There's no evidence of that. So stop spreading propaganda. So stop that. And Christians are scared. You get these phony, self-proclaimed prophets and people that are on YouTube and things. Oh, you better stock up. You better stock up and, get you a nice little, amount of everything stocked away. Put it away because doomsday is coming. And you want to make sure that you got it all stocked up. And then there's even some people that's made businesses out of it. I heard it on the radio, I think when I was listening to Pandora. And they come in, I forgot, it was something basically food that's packaged to last for an extended period of time, for dark times and things like that. And so everyone's being scared to do all of this, and then they're scaring you. These phony so-called self-proclaimed prophets and teachers and all of them. The bank, draw all your money out the bank. Take all your money out of the stock market. Do all of that. Stick it in your mattress. Or better yet, put it off into some corrupt crypto is what they get you to try to do. And then so you end up losing all your money, and then you'll be crying the blues listening to these frauds. But they take all your money out because the bank is just going to collapse. I had a dream. An angel came to me last night when I was just laying there and told me, take my money out, all out of the account and things, and close down my bank cards and don't use anything like that anymore and things. Everything is doomsday. They want to scare everybody and act like this great big persecution is going on in the United States, and that's a lie. Yes, certain things will happen from time to time. We know it kind of started up. It started here and there, but let's talk about the lady that refused to marry she was a government worker, and she refused to marry somebody that was of the same sex or something like that, and that was such a big uproar. Well, you know what? When you work as a public servant for a government like that, that's part of the job. So quit. Don't try to sit there and make it, you knew it, or don't take the job to begin with. So don't try to play it. People kill me with that. You know what certain jobs entail. Just like we know the NFL players or somebody that's, NASCAR drivers. We know all of that is high risk. And you can lose your life when you take on a sport like that and things. So boxing and all of that, the risk. So there's certain jobs that if you don't want any drama, don't even get involved in it. Stay out of it. But don't try to play the little charade and these games that people do and trying to scare folks so that way that you can push across your agenda, the Christian, perverted version of the Christian agenda. That's what, notice I'm using the word perverted version, because anybody, us as Christians, whether you like it or not, I don't like what goes on in society and things like that, but the Bible told us what it was going to be like as time went on. We know that there's going to be lawlessness, rumors of wars, kids being rebellious. We know what the scriptures said. The Lord laid it right out there for us to know. And somehow some people are trying to control the scriptures in their way, trying to control the Lord, trying to control his kingdom in some kind of way. You can't control the Lord. There's nothing that you can do. He don't need you. He don't need you at all. We need him. And you're trying to do the work and of everything else when we have the Holy Spirit that can do way much more than what anything we can do. And guess what the Holy Spirit can do? The Holy Spirit can touch somebody's heart and change it and cut through that hardness, cut through that sin and convert them and make them a new creation. That's what the Holy Spirit can do. And guess what we're supposed to be doing? Preaching the gospel. In season, out of season, sticking to the word, teaching sound doctrine, and all of that. We're not to get caught up and distracted and off on different things that has nothing to do with the gospel. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And you want to see change in people? You want to see certain things happen? Stick to the word. Allow the word to come forth. Allow your life to be a light and a good example. But when you're going around trying to think that you ain't doing them but fooling yourself when you're trying to think that you're scaring everybody and trying to, scare someone into serving the Lord in such a way with a, this false perverted gospel and telling people, getting everybody all riled up and things. Yeah, the Christians it's all coming. You better sign this law. You better do this or that because guess what? They're going to get us and things like that. It's all a charade. This is not of God. God doesn't operate that way. He does not operate because he's not a man that he should lie. And Christians are lying in order to try to push forth their self-righteousness, their self-righteous agenda. That's what they're doing. They are lying in order to push that forward, thinking that they're fooling people. But you know what? One person you can't fool, and you cannot fool the Lord. He sees right through all of these people's mess. And guess what? That's one thing, that's playing with the Lord. And this is a problem. As I get ready to close this video out, this is a big problem. The fear of the Lord is for some reason, within the church has been brushed aside and thrown in the trash can. That fear is gone. That fear, these people that operate these phony ministries, no fear, gone. People that are willing to lie to push their agenda, no fear. People that continue to do this. How can you sleep at night? I didn't even know, before I was saved, I knew of the Lord and things like that, but I did have some kind of fear. I mentioned before, for some of you I was suicidal and things, but I had this fear thinking like, what if heaven and hell is really real? And what if I take my life and what if I end up in hell? I was scared and stuff. So I would wrestle with that thought at times, thinking, I don't know if I want to do this because I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm not right with God and things. I have fear, but there's no more fear. There's no more fear within the church at this current moment. People have walked off and done their own thing. One more thing this came to me. One of the things is when things get out of control, and I hate to see it because I mentioned to you, I've worked with troubled youth and things over the years and things like that. But one of the things is, you're going to have some problems with your kids here and there. There's small things. Kids are human and things like that. But if they ever get to the point when they flat out disrespect you, that's a problem. That is a problem when it becomes a norm where we have now a whole lot of parents that are scared of their kids. They're scared. They're so scared of them, they're not going to question why they're coming home at 1, 2, 3 in the morning or didn't come home at night at all. They're scared. And that's a place to be. There's a whole lot of things that possibly have happened to have gotten to that point and things like that. But that's the same thing that has happened with the church. The Jesus Christ is, and our Father, who's up in heaven, he's our Father. And for some reason that his flock, his people, that he decided to give his life and die for, the people that his creation, he decided to die for. And people, his church that he laid the foundation, as he told Peter, they have looked at him now, and you know what? They thumbing their nose at him, and they don't care, and they're in total rebellion, and they're talking back, and something has went wrong along the way to where they don't care, and they ain't listening to him no more. And they're doing whatever they want to do. And this is the result of what we have right now. We're in dangerous times. The church is in more danger than ever before. And as I said it before, they're focusing, you get these people that are with the boogeyman and all of this, and they're focusing so much on this world. But they've totally forgot their household, and they have forgot the house of the Lord. You know, that's a bad place to be. We must continue to pray. We must continue to call it out and continue to take the devil head on. Evangelism for God is a channel. My name is Maurice Braxton. We'll keep marching forward. We'll keep fighting. Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.